So first up we have St. Andrews Cathedral, which is a neoclassical style Anglican church and actually the largest cathedral in Singapore. It was built as a testament to the contributions that Scottish, woohoo, English, and Indian communities had on the growth and development of colonial Singapore. It was named St. Andrew after the patron saint of Scotland and in honor of the Scottish community who had donated to the building fund. The church was completed in 1838, but has been struck by lightning twice, so the current one is actually a few decades newer than the originally built one. Another place I would recommend is the MacRitchie Trail. It is the largest reservoir in Singapore, and a reservoir is just a place that catches rainwater, and was constructed in 1867. It's about an 11-kilometer natural trail loop, which I did the entire thing. It took about a couple hours and was very, very sweaty at the end. Just like a little warning right there, you will probably get very sweaty. It's not a hard hike, it's basically just level ground most of the way, but in the middle there is like a treetop walk, which is about 250 meters. It's not very long at all, but it's a 250-meter aerial freestanding suspension bridge, and it gives you views from the highest points of MacRitchie.
It is wobbly.
Can you?
I did see a lot of wild animals there. There was like long-tailed macaque monkeys, there was lots of different kinds of species of birds, monitor lizards, like little tinier lizards, and snakes. We did spot a snake that was actually in the process of eating a lizard, which was a little, that was a bit of a sight to see, but yeah.
Kachi, it's eating its butt.
Ew, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Another wonderful place that I went to was Little India, and I do recommend going there. It is the ethnic district which is home to Singapore's third largest ethnic community. So Singapore actually has many different ethnicities residing in it. So the largest population is the Chinese ethnicity, and then there's Malays and Indians as well. Little India is buzzing with activity. I've never been to India myself, but I can imagine it may have a bit of a similar vibe to it. There's loads of cheap food that you can find there, really tasty Indian food, and loads of vegetarian restaurants. Another place I recommend is the Orchid Garden. It's located in the middle of the Botanic Gardens, which does have its own MRT stop, so it's quite easy to get to. The orchid is the national flower of Singapore, and they're very, very pretty. And pro tip, if you are on a student visa or have a Singaporean student ID, it's only $1 to get in, at least when I went. The garden had I think it said 60,000 plants and 1,000 species. You can also eat at Greendot, which is my favorite veggie restaurant in all of Singapore. Harbourfront Vivo City Deck connects to Sentosa Island and is a huge shopping mall. They have this big outdoor deck area, and it's a nice place to kind of just chill out and watch ships go by.
Hello.
If you exit D from Harbourfront MRT station, you can hike to the top of Mount Faber, and this is called the Mount Faber Walk. It doesn't even take that long, and it's basically like a rainforesty walk you can take to the top of this one small mountain. And at the top you have great views of Singapore, and it's the start of the Southern Ridges Trail. The Southern Ridges is a trail of 4 parks stretching across the western half of Singapore. It has lots of cool points along the way, including the Henderson Wave Bridge, which is 36 meters high, and it's lit up at night and looks very, very pretty. And it's 9 kilometers in total. There's lots of different lookout points along the way where you can be quite high up above the trees and buildings, and you can get like fantastic views. There's like forest walks. There's like a 18-meter high elevated metal walkway that's called like a forest walk, I think. And then it goes through Hort Park, which has lots of really nice different small like flower exhibitions. Chijimes today is like a local hangout area. It was initially a Catholic convent in the downtown area that was restored in 1996 for commercial purposes. So these days it's basically restaurants, shopping. Basically what I like to go and do there was just lay in the hammocks and chill out. Raffles Hotel is famous for its Singapore slings. It's basically a colonial-style luxury hotel first opened in 1887 and named after the so-called founder of Singapore, Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles. And the original Singapore sling drink is served there.
Is that a video?
Yep.
Oh no.
Wait. What is that?
It's mochi.
Which is?
I don't know. It's mochi. Everyone knows what a mochi is.
I don't.
Yes, you do. You've tried it.
The National Museum of Singapore is the oldest museum in Singapore, and it first started off as a library, but nowadays it's a museum that focuses on exhibits about the history of Singapore. It was fairly interactive in parts as well, and I think it had a lot of really, really interesting sections on how Singapore became the country that it is today. Sentosa Island basically has a million things you can do on it. It has resorts.
Say hello.
Hi.
Enjoying your resort experience?
There is a Merlion light show every night that you can watch for free, where they light up the big Merlion on Sentosa and play music to the beat of the lights.
Can't see you.
It has the Adventure Cove water park, which I absolutely love. Do remember to bring flip-flops because the ground hurts your feet if you walk on it without them.
Oh my god.
It has Universal Studios, which I love.
Y'all, I made it to the Siloso Beach.
It also has 3 beaches, which are Palawan, Siloso, and Tanjong Beach. Then there is the Marina Bay area. So the bay is located in the central area of Singapore. You can walk around it and you'll see the Art Science Museum. There's stunning views of the central business district. You can see the Merlion. It has a free light and water show that comes on every night along the promenade called Spectra. And it's free, which is great, and it runs every night starting from 8 p.m. And so basically the Merlion is the official mascot of Singapore. Most famous one is located in Marina Bay. It's a lion's head on a fish body, and it's used to represent the city-state and the residents within Singapore. For example, it's used as the mascot for sports teams and stuff. And there's 5 of them in total in Singapore, so see if you can find them all. That was actually an amazing race challenge.
So funny.
Ew.
Oh, it's systematic. It's hydromatic. Why is it greased like this?
Nearby is also an area called Clarke Quay, which is a bar scene area with a lot of clubs and was very popular with other exchange students from NUS. It's a historical riverside quay area along the river, and it used to be the center for trade, but today is more of a center for, nightlife. A lot of nighttime entertainment. One of the most famous places to go to in Singapore is the Gardens by the Bay, which is 101 hectares of reclaimed land. It's not that old even, it was created in 2012. These alien trees are actually called the Super Tree Grove, and they have a free light show every day running from 7:45 p.m. and it's called the Garden Rhapsody. It's really, really cool. I really recommend going to see that. Gardens by the Bay is free itself, but there are 2 paid inside exhibitions. One is called the Cloud Forest, and it's the famous indoor waterfall within the Cloud Mountain. And then the other one is a flower dome, so it has different themed exhibitions all throughout the year. So for example, I went when they had the Christmas exhibition, and they also had a Halloween exhibition that I went to, and I think right now they were having an orchid one, but it might have changed by now. One of the most famous zoos in the world is the Singapore Zoo, and I actually made a video dedicated to it, so if you want to learn more about the Singapore Zoo, do click on that. Another popular area is the Bugis area. I don't think I really have footage of this area, but it's basically a night market and it has loads of different food places. There is a Korean shaved ice place that was really, really good, and I do recommend, and that was the main reason I usually went to Bugis, not gonna lie. And basically the main attraction in Chinatown is the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple, and it's fairly new, built in 2007, and it has exhibits on Buddhist art and history. Chinatown in general has like a lot of souvenirs, so if you're looking for very cheap, dirt cheap souvenirs, like things such as magnets and t-shirts or postcards, stuff like that, Chinatown is filled with them. Another place to go to is Jurong Bird Park, and I also made a video about this actually. It's basically a zoo full of birds. So if you're interested in that, I do have a separate video on this as well. Another place is Pulau Ubin. It's a rural island off Singapore, and basically you have no cars on the island, so you can rent bikes and like bike around the island. And you can see lots of wild monkeys. I saw wild pigs as well, and they have the Chek Jawa wetlands. And you can see like those little fish that go on land and on water. There was lots of those. They had lots of crabs and lots of wildlife, different kinds of birds. It's a really nice day trip in my opinion.
This is my favorite place on campus. The U-Town Green. You can't really see it in the dark, but I just come here to lay down and relax. Look at the sky, look at the people going by on this side. People walking there. I live in this building. Sorry for the horrid filming, but... So yeah, this is where I just come and lay in the grass and enjoy the atmosphere. I love it. It's one of my favorite spots in Singapore, to be honest. I just love laying down here and just chilling, especially late at night. It's like 11 now, probably after 11. I just love it so much. It's so peaceful. It's quiet. There's not too many bugs. It smells good. And it's right next to my house. It's just, oh, it's amazing. I just really enjoy it. And yeah, that just about sums up my top things to do in Singapore that I would recommend. And let me know in the comments if I missed something that you feel like I should have included. And yeah, I guess that just about concludes this video. Till next time.